Hello, how are you doing today? Hope all is well. Oh no, we're not having any rain today. It's I just came from my small orchard and there's no rain. The ground is still quite moist from the rain we got a few days ago, and I know because I had to empty over 30 gallons of it out of my boat, and that was a lot of fun. Needless to say, but we're just waiting on the colder weather. It's on its way. You can feel it in the air. Enjoying just the process. I was out shooting some videos on my property, and I'm actually in the process of uploading them now. The collard green and kale are doing very well. Um, I have some in containers. I think I better feed those. They looked the leaves were a little more curly than I'm accustomed to, so I'd much rather make certain that it's not the fact that they're lacking food. Um, Beautiful green. They're standing up. They're doing well. Found in the on the property some um, volunteer tomato plants, which won't make it through the winter, but it was just interesting seeing them. Some are grown in groups. One was grown alone. Beautiful, beautiful, healthy plants, the kind you would hope for in the spring and summer. How has your garden been doing? Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Is anyone out there still in the process of growing a garden this time of year? Hello, everyone. Supreme Family Garden. Good to see you. Big thumbs up, my brother. You can tell when people are in the room, boy, they tell you this is my brother. Um, I'm still growing. Uh, the the items are still growing. I think I'm gonna go out and do some chop and drop this morning as well. I have some gas left in the trimmer. Want to use it up. Don't want it to seize up the carburetor, and I'm going out and empty that out. By using it, and just cut down the rest of the weeds and parts of my yard. The connection is unstable. Please wait. Wow. Okay, try. Is anyone noticing a lagging problem that I'm having? Because I tried something different this morning. Any lagging problem at all? Any buffering problem? Is anyone noticing a buffering problem with my connection? Oh, okay, good, good. Because I'm actually in the process of, one person said yes, one person said no. I'm in the process right now of, processing a video to go up sometime today. So I try to do both of them at once. I guess might not been the best idea, but I try to get it all done. The end of the year. If any of you have um, mantras, I guess what you call it, any of your videos, and where you get a percentage of whatever the ads run on the particular video that you have up. Has anyone ran into problems during tax time when it comes to these videos? Have a great day. All right. Today gotta get back to work. It's all right. Oh, you're just getting started on YouTube. You should have a lot of fun. Great deal. Great deal with YouTube. It's a lot of fun. It's you're getting into YouTube when we got all these new add-ons. But when you first started out, it was just you didn't get a chance to do anything live or anything. It was just basically videos, and you had a lot of big of people out there. I call them big people because their videos ran 24/7. They was getting large amount of hits. They was um, their name was well known. They never got back to you if you ever asked them a question. They just never they didn't have time for it. Um, they just didn't get back to you. They never got back to you. Um, they were usually tied together with a lot of companies that pretty much paid them for being online. Good morning, good morning. Green organic love. Um, and let's see, we got the I've been gardening for 3 years. I've learned a lot from you about soil quality. Oh, thank you very much. It's good to know. I'm glad to see someone, is getting some of the information I'm putting out there. It took me a lot of years to understand that the key was just soil. And a lot of excuse me, not plants, but a lot of gardeners were online, and they were making it so complex, man. I mean, it was so complex the way they were, number one, the way they were explaining it. Then they would get real technical with you, and they would use great amounts of let me get it right. Great technical terms that they were using that related to science, more so than gardening. And it was, and then it was all of these. You got one hand, you got the myth about gardening, and then you got the truth about gardening. And the truth is, gardening is so simple that it is. That's why it evades most people because it is completely simple. Gardening is. Now you'll learn different techniques that people have, you know, got on to over the years. I mean, either passed down to the family or passed down to industry. But for the most part, gardening is simple. It is completely simple. It's like a bank account, really. You put something in the soil, you get something out of the soil. If you stay with that, you won't ever have to be online wondering why something won't grow. Or you running off getting a bunch of soil tests that you don't know what's wrong with your soil. Why won't this grow? Why won't this grow? Why can't I get this to grow? Um, you put organic matter. That's anything that once had a parent, anything that was once alive, you get the picture. And you put that in the soil and you put a seed on top of it or a plant on top of it, you get that out of the soil. And that's how that works. If you have tomatoes coming out of the ground and they don't taste right and they're not sweet, something's going on with the soil. Something's going on with the soil. If the plants are coming out of the ground and it's small and hi, hello, how you doing? And they're small and the fruit that they produce is not in large quantities and they're small, something's going on with your soil. Or where you planted them at the sunlight. But in most cases, it's the soil that you're having an issue with. Most soils are poor. Most soils are poor. People will not tell you that truth. Most soils are very poor. Uh, and when you move into a house, excuse me, you move into a house or you have ground that's never been fed, uh, you will have the first crop you put there. Let's say the soil's never been touched for maybe 50, 60, 70 years, 100 years, never been touched. You put cucumber, stuff like pickle things like cucumber, tomatoes in, it's going to grow great that first year. Oh my God, I got cucumbers. There's lots of them. They're big and they're crunchy. Try to do that year in and year out in that same spot. You'll draw all of the nutrients out of that ground in that area where the cucumbers will be, first they'll come off being less, and then they'll be smaller and smaller, until eventually you'll get nothing but just a plant. But if you put nutrients back in that area in the form of whatever, fish, plants, such as weeds, grass clippings, whatever, you put it back in that area. Oh, leaves. And when you put the leaves in there, well, you put the leaves in there, you definitely gonna get a response. And this is high. Okay, someone said high there. You get the leaves in the ground. Right now, the time of year where you can collect as many leaves as you want. That's black gold. I've said that over and over again to people. It is absolutely black gold. The long, deep roots of the trees pull up all these minerals. It goes through the trunk, into the branches, into the leaves, drop back down to the ground. The cycle has been going on for millions and millions of years. Um, my point being is that if you put these organic materials back into the ground, you will grow sweet, full-size plants, beautiful plants, and that's what the deal is. Because plants eat organic matter. It's that simple. Organic matter. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Ah, I couldn't see without the glasses. Fellow Earthlings. Yeah. But that's what you want to do. You want to keep pumping in organic matter into the ground. And there's a question stuck with me. Somebody asked me 5 years ago through a comment. They said, "Is can you put too much organic matter in the ground?" I don't think so. I don't think you put too much organic matter in the ground. The biology in the soil is what grows your plant, folks. Biology in the soil is what grows your plants. Your plants have a deep, deep, deep relationship with them. You know, they make it so that your uh, plants can receive nutrients, nourishment. Oh, okay, you tried them. You tried the. I was looking at. Let me tell you what I was looking at in the garden today. Yes, yes, absolutely. Keep adding that organic matter. And also, I want to say to all of you is that we're coming into winter now, and I've seen some beautiful tomato plants growing out of tomatoes that fell to the ground or fell out of my pocket when I was working, and they're growing beautiful, beautiful, beautiful uh, tomato plants. Beautiful, make you sad that it's wintertime. Some of them are growing in groups of six. I watch them. Some of them are growing in groups of two, and and so on and so on. So I thought that was really great. Yes, layers of biomass in some places as seen for 7 feet of rich dark fruit. Absolutely, you can add a lot of it in there. And the thing about it is, when you put this organic matter in the soil, folks, um, you are doing nothing but improving that soil in that location. It's that simple. And it depends on what you put in the soil. I'll give you a good example. There was a garden company that put out a fertilizer that they claimed was made from food scraps from restaurants, school cafeterias, and all that sort of thing. And they made this fertilizer. And I don't see any of that fertilizer on the shelves today. Um, but I got a few bags of it because of the fact that uh, the fertilizer was, what you put in the fertilizer is what you're going to get out of the fertilizer. Make a long story short. So if you're producing fertilizer from plants that were grown with man-made fertilizers or fertilizers that were of low quality, the plants that come from are going to be of low quality. So therefore, you will not get a top-notch fertilizer from plants that were poor in the first place. Um, People say use cow manure, use horse manure, use rabbit manure. I've heard people say that over and over again. But if the rabbit is eating man-made food, then what comes out of his system is going to be pretty much poor quality if you compare it with a rabbit that's eating in the wild. Um, the same thing for the horse, cow, whatever. If they're eating poor food, if they're eating poor food that's hopped up on all kind of chemicals, then that's what you're getting out of the cow. It don't go in bad and come out, high quality. It might come out somewhat better because it's mixed with the content of the cow's stomach and everything, but you're not getting what you would get if you had a cow running around out there on the grasses and eating what he or she wanted, and then you use the feces from that. That's going to be higher quality. Oh, thank you, Food Forest Permaculture. Thank you. I love it when you can look at the facts and say, okay, this makes sense. Um, the Back in the olden days, They fed the horses better because they had to have the horses because of the time it was. Horses had to do really, really, really heavy duty work, and you're not going to get that out of a horse that's not been fed properly. You need an animal that's been fed properly so that he or she can get the job done. And the same thing goes for some of the cows that pulled trailers and that sort of thing and got things done. They call them oxen. They had to be fed right. So that definitely the food coming from them is going to be of high quality. The species, which is food for your plants. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Everyone's here today. Wait a minute, I can do this. There we go. It's nice and quiet now. I had the speakers hooked up and it was just buzzing away, being distracted, so to speak. Let's see, backyard gardener. Good morning. Yes, backyard gardener has definitely been out there a while and has definitely earned their stripes in the gardening area. A lot of you have been out there and definitely are earning your stripes because I'm telling you, as the time goes on, and we keep getting all of these bad people that run this country from both sides. We keep getting these bad people. Food's going to keep going up, and the new company Ford's coming out with a new vehicles that's going to run on all electric, and they're putting in these electric stations all over the place, and they're going to give you free electricity for the vehicles that you purchase. That's just an incentive for 2 years only, folks, in case you want to check into it. And the food costs are going to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And you're going to keep saying, oh God, my money's getting smaller. Oh my goodness, I don't have any energy left. I don't feel good. I'm eating right. I'm eating lettuce and tomatoes and stuff from the grocery store, and I just don't feel good. Well, mostly because of what you're eating. I have no energy. I keep hearing people say that to me. I have no energy. I just don't have any energy. I just don't feel like doing stuff. Now, you just said something there. Something, food for our permaculture. I think we the same brothers just came from different mothers. I would say it like this. I was going, well, I am going to go fishing tomorrow because I kept saying, should I pack up my gear in the car today? Or should I wait till tomorrow and pack it up? I said, I'm packing it today. I got so much tackle to go out there and get. I have so much tackle. I don't know why. Uh, yes, yes, thank you. I have so much tackle that it is sad in a way. Because in my lifetime, I will never use this much tackle. But the I got some beautiful stuff. I mean, really, and they keep coming up with new tackle. Like they got the one. It's like a fish. It moves like a fish. It looks like a fish. And I'm thinking, how much is it? Okay, it costs enough. Because when you look at the prices of it, you go, oh my God, I would hate to lose that lure. They're putting electronics in them now so that they buzz and vibrate as they go through the water. And I'm saying, wow, is it that serious? There are days you're going to go out and fish will not bite. I don't care what you put in the water. And then there are days that you go out and they will bite. I've also often told people this. You could tie a key onto the end of a string. If you jerk it right, a fish will hit it. Yeah, I agree with that. I took a kid fishing this year, And he was about, I want to say about maybe 4 years old, 5 years old. He wasn't really interested. He mostly played with his truck. But I'm still going to take him, because as he gets older, he might go, wait a minute, I like this, as much as it might happen. Or he might say, I might not like it. So, take him out a couple of times. And until he look at me and say, I really don't want to do this, then I'll say, okay, leave him alone. My father took me out, got me hooked. Kept me off the corners, kept me out of the streets, kept me on the straight and narrow. All I wanted to do the weekends hit after school was go fishing. Hello, hello, how you doing? All right, homesteaded. I think Miss Angela's Busy Bee Gardener is definitely been out there a while. She's been gardening for quite a while. I've been watching some of her videos. I've been, seeing her in and out of the chat room we have here. We are raining on fishing some good. I like to fish. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Every animal needs food. Every animal. Um, oh, I feel better now. I feel better now. I'm going fishing tomorrow. Yeah. Get them fish on the line. Get them fish on the line. That's what I want to do. It's just really great. And you take them and what you do is you put them in a plastic bag, a sandwich bag, and you date and everything. You put, if you want to put the time on there when you call it, put the date on there. Put them in a bag. Don't gut them and clean them and all that because he'll last longer if you just leave them whole in the refrigerator, deep freeze. Excuse me. You put them down in there and you got fresh fish, and it's of the highest nutritional value because it wasn't grown in a big tank with uh, no room to move and just to eat, and the fish constantly urinating. So and they put the chemicals in there to keep that down, and so that's what you're eating. Um, I went to a Korean place once, and they had a tank in there, a 150-gallon tank, and I remember seeing all these dead fish in there, and I remember seeing um, the dead fish and also the ones that were dying, and I saw the water smelled like rotted flesh, and I remember that. That was just really crazy. I mean, I looked at that. So I said, this is just torture to these fish. Look at them. They're floating to the top, diving to the bottom, just dying because their water was salty. Dying. Yeah, it was sad. I mean, and it was tilapia, and it was just insane. And they didn't care, and they were still cutting up the ones that were dying because they felt like if they just cut them up and put them in little packages that people would buy them, and of course people will buy them because they don't know. No one's going to tell you. I mean, the worst thing I seen in the store was it was of course in an African American store, and they had these rotted uh, chicken wings, and he was washing it with salt. And can anyone tell me why they did that? Because I thought it was interesting when I finally found out why they was washing it with salt in warm water. And okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there. They were washing it to neutralize the smell. That's why they were washing it. And I looked at that, and they were just opening their kitchen up that morning, and the whole back end of that restaurant, uh, um, yeah, yep, yep, exactly, yep. And so they were doing this, and I'm watching it, and I'm saying, "Oh my God, look what they're doing to these people in this community." And because the only thing really mattered was the bottom line. The bottom line is what mattered. And so it was just crazy. Oh no. That's something I wouldn't eat. We bought our chicken. We had to walk to get it, and it was in a mall that the fresh stuff coming every morning in that place. You know, but they had weird stuff at the that mall. They would have like a when I was a kid, I used to go there with my dad, and we have like a hog's head up there on the ice, looking at you like this. And I'm looking at this, saying, "What the hell kind of place is this?" As a kid. Going to the back of the kitchen, and they had turtles that were there was no room for them to move. They was in looked like wooden cages, and they were just, you know. And the man said, "Don't go over there. Don't let them go over there." He said they'll get bit. And I thought this was a really cruel place because Um, they had heads laying on the ground on the cement floor that were heads off of turtles, and it was like three of them over there. And we looked at them and we was amazed because when we poked it with the umbrella, the head snapped his mouth, and it just blew me away because I could not imagine or even understand how could something move that didn't have a body. Hello there. Hello there. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. What we got in Miss Francis? I'm telling you, it was this beautiful thing, man. It was folks. It was beautiful, beautiful. We had a store that sold them kind of, I call it, weird items. I bought a turtle from them actually. It was a snapping turtle. I begged for it and pleaded for it because I was a kid that was interested in things. Anyway, my father bought it, and it was about maybe 8, 9 pounds or something, about that big around. It was a snapping turtle, and the guy sold it to us. Still had his head on it and everything. And I bought it, kept it, fed it chicken and things like that. And it was a really weird pet to have. And plus, it was very, 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 very dangerous pet to have. Um, but you grow up. I never got bit by the turtle. Though. Never was crazy enough to put my fingers or hands anywhere near that mouth that would do like this when you get near it. I would never go near the mouth area of the turtle. And I caught one turtle once. I was out fishing, and I caught one that was about 25, 30 pounds. And it was a snapping turtle, and caught it and drug it on land, grabbed it by its tail. Because I heard something crazy years ago that turtles can't reach around to where their tail is. And got the animal home. No. I missed a lot in the story. Drug him out of the water, tossed him on land, looked at him. He was standing up on his feet, and it was amazing to see him do that. And they do walk pretty fast when they're pissed off. So don't let nobody tell you that. Um, and he was trying to, and how he knew where the water was, because he was walking back towards the water. As he turned around and watched me, and I would grab him by the tail and drag him back towards the land. Anyway, I got him home, kept him for uh, yeah, it was cool. He was just and he was big, And anyway, I kept him for about 2 weeks, and was got him home, was going to eat him or something like that. And I remember that, and I looked at him. I said, I don't know how to clean this turtle. I don't know how to even cook this turtle. What am I talking about doing? And uh, so I called a cab one day, put him in a big, huge cooler, and I called a cab and I said, listen, I gotta. Anyway, cab driver got there. He said, what do you got in the box? Because he wanted to know, make sure what he carried in his cab. And he saw the turtle. He said, oh my goodness, this is the weirdest thing. And he said, man, he said, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I'm just trying to take it back down to the water and let it go. And it was a good thing I ran into a cab driver who actually do that because a lot of them are going to do that. Who would want to get something in a cab and crazy. So I got it back down the way it was, and uh, and I'm telling you, dropped it in the water and saw it literally disappear. That's how fast it moved when it was in the water. And went back out there a month later and caught the same turtle again. Same turtle. And, it was just weird. Because I knew it was the same turtle because it had this little nick on the side of his nose. But it was just crazy. So I always like nature. So when you come to the garden, it was just a natural thing to want to see things grow. I have 25 fruit trees on my property. I learned from YouTube as well how to grow, because a lot of it wasn't in books when I was coming up. How to grow trees in high density plantings, and I used to see people do this one thing. They would buy these trees that says 5-in-1, 7-in-1, whatever. All these different um, trees growing in the same from the same stock. Um, but I found that it was better or better deal just to grow these trees is to dig one hole and put all four of them or all five of them in the same hole and just cover them up. Because when you do that, if one dies, they don't all die. But if you have one tree die, then all five would die if they're part of the same tree. Because you have some animals that live underground that will take out the roots of a tree, take them completely out to where the tree will just die. And you'll think it just died, but when you go to when it finally dries up and you rock it back and forward and take it out of the ground, you'll see it had no roots, and you'll want to know where did the roots go. The roots will be completely rotted away. Um, I had it to happen to a cherry tree, and when it did take place, I said, "Oh my God, what happened to the roots of this tree?" Because when I went to take it out of the ground, I got actually all of it out of the ground, but just rocking it back and forth. I had a shovel, but when I rocked it back and forth, the tree just came out of the ground. It had no roots, and that tree was about 4, maybe 5 years old. So it's you live and you should learn. That's what I always say. Um, but making apple butter, much love and respect for all stories, and making planting a tree. Peace out, man. Peace out. All right. But I definitely enjoyed. Has anyone, I'm gonna put it out there, heard anything about this new variety of apple called the uh, Cosmetic Crunch? And it is a apple grown in Washington, and it's supposed to be taking the place of the Honeycrisp apple, dominating the market. That's what it's supposed to be doing. I called around and I looked on the internet everywhere, and I found only one store that carries it, and it's called Fast Growing Fruit Trees. And they want $100 for the tree. I, on the other hand, refuse to do that because I have better sense than that. And it's that simple, folks. I want to buy trees that are reasonably priced but not crazy. No, I didn't check the local garden center. I just didn't. But anytime I go on the internet and I look up this tree and I see that, well, first of all, Maryland is not really known for having the latest information on anything when it comes to growing. It's almost, it's like a conspiracy in a sense that most states, cities, and they don't want you growing food. First of all, they don't want you growing food. You're supposed to have some dependency on the grocery stores and like that. You're not supposed to be growing your own food in the first place. It is not your job, it is theirs because they have to make a living. When you start growing your own food, you create a problem for every grocery store or Walmart out there. You don't need to be growing your own food. It is against their uh, uh, betterment or their future when you grow your own food. Not supposed to be doing that, folks. Not supposed to be doing it. The trees that you see in Walmart, you see it Home Depot and Lowe's when it comes around the garden season. Look at what they do. It's a beautiful thing that they have some trees there, but they're always selling those semi-dwarfs. Now they just recently started selling some, and not a great number of them, of the dwarf apple trees. The dwarf apple trees is what the most homeowners are looking for. They're looking for something to grow anywhere from 10 to 20 feet tall and then top out at that point. But when you go to those stores, you get the semi dwarfs, which can grow enormous. I mean, really. Now you can keep them cut down and everything. You don't have a job, but you can keep it cut down. You can keep those trees cut, but you're going to work for it, and that's how that works, folks. All my trees are not dwarfs. I got accidentally somebody sent me trees that were standard trees. They sent me these trees. These trees will grow eventually if I leave them alone, 25, 30, 35 feet tall. But I have one control mechanism. I will try to keep them cut small. If it doesn't work, then I have to try another method. Okay, I have to trend towards garden. Yes, you are seeing a trend towards gardening. You're absolutely seeing it because people are saying, wait a minute, that's what they're doing. Because you can see it. You can also see it when you go to the gardening departments at the large box stores. Everything is going up in there. Seeds are going up in cost. You got the cost of the trees you're purchasing going on. Because I went there once and I saw one tree was $69. One tree. I remember when that same tree was about $25 at the big box stores. Come on now. It is a trend. All the trees online that you buy are going up in cost. They had one tree place online that I used to buy my trees, and I would recommend nobody ever go nowhere near them. Trees can handle pruning. Okay. I agree with you there. You haven't said anything that's incorrect. The the thing about it is that the reason why they can't really dominate this market, and let me explain to you why. You sell me a grapevine, like the one I got out there right now. It's called a Neptune. Supposed to grow. Oh, and it's sold at what's the name of the place called? Stock Brothers. But anyway, I'm not advertising for them. I'm just saying that's why I bought it. So I bought the Neptune because I said, wait a minute. This says largest white grape seedless. I want this. All right, so I get the grapevine. I bought one. I've done this before, folks. I bought one raspberry plant. No, excuse me. Let me read two. Excuse me. I bought two. At the end of the season, they had a couple of them there that were dying because of lack of water. They don't water them once they come into the store. They don't water them. They're wrapped up in a plastic bag, and the bag, okay, dried out, completely dried out. I always contact the manager, and I said to the manager, listen, I'm interested in a couple of these plants on this rack here. He said, uh, okay, but they're trash or they're going out to back to the company, whatever, whatever. So I said, look, make me a deal on a couple of them. And, he said, give me a dollar. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go to the rack. Tell them you said, well, yeah, Dave said, you can have these for a dollar. They came in there originally marked for $7, $8, $9 a bag. Okay, let's just say $7, $8, $9 a bag. When you purchase these trees, here's the great thing about them. You take them home. You can do one or two things with them, which is what I did. I load the hole up with compost, drop the tree in there, and water it. The tree comes right. I mean, the plant comes right back. Could be a tree too. And it comes back and it starts growing. So anyway, I bought these two and I planted them 6 feet apart. And one was one type of raspberry, one was a different type. Long story short, I watered them, folks. The first year you got to keep an eye on them. Water them, water them. Start trying to graining up, trying to grow. Then come back in the winter, then fall. Excuse me, fall and then winter, then back to spring. Now they have fastened their roots into your soil structure. They know what your soil is, and they start growing. Then they start sending out all these little plants underneath the ground through their root system. Now I got over 80 plants in that area grown from two. Folks, I'm trying to wake you up. It can be done. It can be done. It can be done, folks. I bought two plants. I spent $2. I now have over 80 plants. All because of two plants on a rack that they were getting ready to throw in the trash. That they originally wanted about $8, $9 for a piece. That's what they wanted for them. Wake up, people! Wake up! Okay. Got that out of my system now. But that's what I'm saying. I got plants that I shouldn't have. I bought one blackberry plant. I paid $1 because I was new to my game at that point. I paid $1.79 for the plant because the guy looked at me and he really didn't care. He didn't want me to have the plant anyway. But I don't care about him. $1.75, whatever, dollar something. So anyway, I wouldn't pay for it. Went home, did the same process. A little bit of compost, put it in the ground. The thing was set and it started growing. Now that was it 10 years ago, 8 years ago? I got blackberries galore, folks. Every year that plant grows up, touches the ground, creates a new plant. Or you could do some other things that make it create plants. But once it touches the ground, it's called tip rooting. And it roots itself on its own. And then you clip that plant back about a foot and a half, pull it from the ground with a little trowel, put it in another spot where you want it at. Guess what? It's going to grow beautifully. Or you could just leave it there and it'll send shoots under the ground sometime and start its own plant somewhere. But you got to be careful about blackberry plants so people will not tell you. It will run over your property. It will run over your property if you don't keep them cut back. It will run over your property. Blackberries. You put them in the ground, go get locked up, or you move away for 2-3 years, come back, and you look at all these bushy areas. What is all that? Blackberry took over that spot over there, and you would have to do some amazing things to get rid of them. Amazing things. As long as they can get sun, as long as they can get to soil, they will reproduce themselves. They don't need your help. They don't need your help. They don't need your help. Okay. I'm just kidding, folks. I'm just having fun. But so that's what they do. That's what they do. And you want to make certain that you're smart about growing your thing. Don't go out there and pay top dollar for everything. Or go out there, like I see some of the videos on YouTube, and they'll say this. I wanted to start some raspberry plants over in this part of the yard, so I bought 25 plants. Now, let's see. 25 plants, folks. That's what the guy said he bought. 25 plants. And they usually sell them for about $7.50, something like that. And if you do that, you just gave that store $187.50. I don't see it, folks. You're not coming out ahead when you do that. All he needed to do, all he needed to do was buy one plant. Let's be real. If you have one of them jobs like, let's see, trees can handle pruning. Okay, I got that. Nobody's typed anything since. Okay, got it. I don't want to keep reading over the same thing, but what happens is if you buy one plant or two plants or whatever, it will grow an enormous amount of plants, and those plants will produce you food. But buying 25 plants is not the way to go. Buying 50 plants, 100 plants, not the way to go. You're losing monies. Good afternoon, morning. Oh, good afternoon. Oh, morning gardeners following and fellow gardeners. Okay, everyone's speaking so properly today. I like that. Let's see. So you grow your raspberries. I'm gonna tell you something, folks. I'm gonna give you a little tip here about raspberries. If you sweeten the soil up, two things you can do to make raspberries really sweet. And just hear this now. Uh, Add fertilizer to them. No, really, fertilizer. They'll sweeten up real nice because you're increasing the biology in the area when you put down a small little layer of fertilizer. They will absolutely sweeten up instead of just being somewhat sweet. Raspberry have a tendency of being somewhat sweet if you don't really, make sure they're eating right. Let's see. You got you want what they call them? Strawberry sweetie. You feed them, or add a little sugar to the soil, sweeten them up real good. Same thing with cherries. Same thing with apples. Same thing with pears and peaches and plums. Yeah, a little bit of sugar around the base of that tree will sweeten the soil up, and the plants will grow sweeter fruit. Yep. But I, on the other hand, when it comes to sugar, I like using molasses because it deters ants. Ants don't like it. But if you use regular granulated sugar, it'll do the same job, but the ants really like it. That's the only problem. Ants go, hey, thanks, buddy. Now, you don't mind if I come in your house for a few hours, get out of this heat. I mean, that's what ants do, and they stay all week long and make these long trails and down along the wall, and you know. Let's see. Do you use sugar around the berry plants? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Remember, folks, it's. I want you to understand something because all of you are doing a beautiful job. On my lunch break, looking up some knowledge you are dropping today. This person, your Christmas gift is in the mail. I'm just kidding. I like this comment you made. Oh my goodness. I like the comment. Let me get back to what I'm doing. Okay. All right. But here's what's happening, folks. Here's what's happening. Whenever you use sugar, and don't get crazy with the sugar. One handful, I was told by a good friend of mine, he knows his stuff. Food forest permaculture. 4x4 area. One handful of sugar. Granulated sugar, brown sugar, syrup, molasses, honey, whatever it is. You can add honey to your water can, about 2 tablespoons, stir it up, and pour it all through the area, whatever, sweeten the soil up. The biology in the soil will go crazy in that area. And they'll start, oh, we're eating other the sugar. They'll start producing, doing the marketing. And they produce all of these new family members. And they live and eat there and they survive there. And the other thing they do is part of life, they die there. And when they die there, they release large quantities of chemicals. And some of those chemicals are the same thing you see on your bag of fertilizer. And one being nitrogen, which is very essential. So they leave all these chemicals right there around that tree. And you'll see that tree, or you'll see that bush, or you'll see that plant turn incredibly green. It'll stand up tall and strong, and you say, what is going on with this plant? And you'll realize something that you wish you had known years ago. Years and years ago, you wish you would have known that. Somebody would have told you, you know. So that's how that works. And when they definitely produce those chemicals around your bush, I mean your plant, your tree will do nothing in turn but grow. And it will produce fruit, but not only just fruit, it will produce larger fruit. It will produce fruit that is sweeter. Okay, it will produce fruit that is in abundance, like I said, and you will love it. And you say, how come I didn't know about this years ago? But don't get crazy with the sugar. Okay? Don't get crazy with the sugar. And you will have a better and more successful garden. Keep your plants what? Healthy. Keep your plants happy and they will produce. But if you put them in just regular soil and they're sitting there going, damn, I've been in this clay soil for 3 months. She keeps putting this fertilizer out there that was made in a bag in some factory. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's all she keeps giving me. Hey, I don't really like it, but it's all I got. Oh well, maybe I'll give her a couple of apples. Maybe I'll give her a couple of tomatoes, but that's it. But when you give them sugar, they get giddy like kids do, and they're active, and they say, "Oh, I want to just grow and grow and grow. I just want to produce some fruit today." Yes, that's what they do. And you have less insects that bother plants that are happy and growing well. Plants can protect themselves when they grow with the right amount of food and the right types of food. That's it, folks. I don't want to bore you anymore. I do not want to bore you anymore. That's it. That's it. I just received a pound of free wood chips. Okay, okay, which is good. Do you suggest back to Eden Garden? Back to Eden Garden. You know something? Back to Eden Garden is basically what we call. God, I can't think of the word right. Wait, just hold on for a second. I got because I'm just a little tired from last night. But nothing wrong with wood chips. Absolutely nothing wrong. You will see an increase of a couple of things when you use the wood chip. You see lots more worms in the garden. Absolutely a lot more worms. They'll be everywhere. Um, and everybody knows don't dig them in, just lay them on the top surface. You will change the texture and the soil. Your soil will become very fertile. Okay. Um, but mine, I had to move a lot of wood chips. I don't want to think about it. A lot of wood chips. But you put them down, and I put mine down 6, 7 inches deep throughout. That's what I did. And some places I had it 9 and 10 inches. But you pull them away, and then you put the plant down in there. And it's gonna take about 2 to 3 years for it to really get the soil really, functioning, behaving like it has enough organic matter in it, which it will have when you do this. But make sure that you do not bury it. You just dig a hole, move it back, and dig a hole and put it in. Um, so you can do the same thing with leaves. Folks, you can do the same thing with leaves. In case you can't get a hold of wood chips, you go get you some leaves. And this is the time of year for it in my location. Is the leaves will be dropping pretty soon, and people have in large bags and they put them out and everything. And some people have pickup trucks and they can go get all this stuff. And one yard I saw had over 45 bags from the same piece of property. I like when I run into those. I get all of them at one time. I know where they came from, and the person has a big piece of property. The chances are they use a machine to rake up everything, and they put them in bags, and they did a beautiful job. However, those wood chips, those leaves, sometimes tend to have lots of seeds in them from different things, and, so that's something that you got to contend with. Same thing with wood chips. Wood chips, filled with everything from buds from that tree to, just whatever was on that tree or in that tree, or it's. It's what it is. But remember, chop and drop as well, folks. Those who can't get the leaves, those who can't get the things that they go get chop and drop. That's another avenue to go. Your yard sometimes can supply your own fertilizer if you know what to look for. Overhead trees that need to be trimmed, you cut them back, you save the branches, you cut them up in smaller pieces, put them around your trees, put them throughout your garden, whatever. They will fertilize the ground that they came from, and that's how that works. Yes, nothing against back to Eden gardening, nothing against, but but what they call it. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Is layer. It's called all you're doing is covering the ground with another type of organic matter than leaves. You're using wood. There's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't blow away when the wind comes. Leaves don't blow away either when the wind comes. Amazing enough, leaves will lay in place over the ground, and they will break down. I put them in there usually about a foot deep, and they will break all the way down by spring to little or nothing. And you just pull them up to the side and put your plant in, and they will stay moist on the hot days. They will stay full of nutrients, and the biology in the soil will be stimulated. Biology in the soil will be stimulated because of the fact that you have all this organic matter in the soil. All right, this has been the morning garden, folks. Uh, I'm gonna let you go, and so you can get stuff done around the house and everything. And I think I've been bending your ear long enough. But thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, and just basically, just enjoy your garden, and remember that it's gotten a little bit more serious because of the cost of everything. And get really good at your gardening so you can actually start producing enough food to sustain yourself for most of the year or all of the year, and you will just enjoy eating better, and your family will enjoy learning to eat better and how to grow food, and also learn to eat better. Thank you very much. Keep on growing. This has been the Morning Gardener.